Hi, this is Nick Lowry, my good friend Damon Corneli, and we're taking a look at judo today, doing a little ashiwaza. In our school, in this dojo, we focus on ashiwaza as the foundational mechanisms for building your game in judo. This follows on a tradition from my teachers and their teachers, and it basically sets the player up to develop an entire game of footwork that can then be applicable to any other type of waza that they prefer in their body dynamics. But if you don't build a functional ashiwaza game first, we find it's very difficult to then go back later and try to put it together after you've become a goshiwaza guy or a hand-throwing guy or a satimi guy. If you spend your early career doing nothing but walking in and hitting sioi, or walking in and doing ukigoshi, or just doing the big throws, because they're the easy ones to learn right off the bat. You just turn, bop them, displace his center, throw him. Fairly easy to teach, fairly easy to learn. Don't take a whole lot of precision skill to build, and then you say, oh, later on I'll do some of those foot sweeps and some of those foot reaps and some of that fancy stuff. Then it's very, very difficult. But if you, from day one, build your ashiwaza game right off the bat with the simplest elements in a progressive manner, then you can have a lot of success adapting that same footwork to all the other throwing conditions. So, for instance, we'll take the most basic, Dayashi Warai. When we're initiating the study of Dayashi, you can do it several ways, but the first way we like to start is with the man taking a back step. So as his foot goes down, we pick up his front foot. Why? Because that's the moment when it's going to be weightless anyway. As he begins to do his activity of walking, he walks back. Next, what's going to happen is this one's going to rise. Can't hardly not happen precisely if I step in with it. It's really got to rise. So first, before you even touch his foot, you just want to walk with him, and he gets to walk at his natural pace. I'm walking my natural pace. Now, as I walk with him, I want to penetrate his step a little bit with my step. So my distancing changes, and he can tell you there's a little shift in his hip. And as he steps back, a little shift in his hip, a little shift in his hip. You feel that? Mm-hmm. So now come after me that way. Yeah. So his center is actually subtly starting to displace me backward slightly on each step. That's basically giving me a little moment of control here so that I can pick this foot up with great probability. Raises my chances. And when I pick the foot up, I want to do so right down at the floor. I don't want to be reaching up high and grabbing his leg. I want to be right down at the ankle. As low to the floor as it can be. My toes are pointed. My ankle's flexed. My knee bends. And the activity of the throw happens in the lower leg. There's a grave tendency when we learn foot sweep to sweep from the big muscles of the thigh and the inner groin, sweeping like this. And really when we sweep, we want the activity concentrated down at the fulcrum point, way down there at the bottom. Kind of like you're brushing something off your shoe. What's that on my shoe? You have to learn to flex the correct muscle group. Otherwise, when you get under duress, you have a failed mechanism going. He has some weight on it, for instance, and I run into this thing. If I'm engaging the big muscles up here at the end of the lever, I may get a foot stop and drive him over it, but it's no longer sweeping. If I hit the same condition way down here, I make sure that my toes are flexed, my ankle's flexed, my knee flexes. Even though his weight's on it, it sort of has a feeling like just like a cat snatching out a cat toy, just snatches it out from under his structure. Because all the power is concentrated, not coming from up here, but coming from right down there. It's like, just grabbing it. Might as well reach down and grab it. And it feels like that. Somebody grabbed it and pulled it out from under you. It's exactly what a good foot sweep is doing if there's weight. If there's not weight, if your timing's right, you can get away for a long time with these straight-legged pulling from the inner groin muscles. But you can tell when you're doing it too, because the activity in the foot, if you watch closely, if I sweep here, my toes open and sort of splay, tend to pull back even. At the end,